I've put together a list of the first buyouts that we have been experiencing this weekend on Quarter Century Stampede. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome. So we'll be starting off over here with Grapha. I'm actually quite surprised about this, but in the end, I really shouldn't be, because Grapha is always going to be a fan favorite out of the Dark World archetype. Dark World as a whole, you know, it's got a lot of momentum right now. A lot of people believe in it because Shifter went away. And of course, you've got older format application with this thing as well. I mean, Grapha was a very infamous card for a good chunk of time, man. You would see a lot of Dark World players trying out the deck and seeing what they could possibly come up with for the deck strategy. And we're kind of just in an awkward situation right now where, you know, a lot of the nostalgia pool is just very short in terms of numbers. There's not a lot available, and that means that if a deck does have a very large following out here, like something like Dark World, for example, especially since the card has modern day application too, if you're trying out Dark World, it's just an all-around really weird, funky situation to be in right now. So hey, I guess congratulations to Dark World. Live Twins. Now this one pleasantly took me by surprise. I really didn't expect to see that this was going to be the mover this weekend, because I picked up a Live Twin on Saturday afternoon. I was like, oh, you know, Willas are like $5-6, you know, this is okay. And then I come Sunday morning, and the Live Twins have just doubled in price. And I'm like, I don't understand this. But evidently there's a lot of hype right now for Evil Twins going on into next set. Especially since Konami didn't functionally touch a single gosh darn thing with the Evil Twin package. The also fact that it feels like we're like 2 sets behind the OCG right now is kind of really weird. So I think a lot of people kind of forgot about Evil Twin supremacy. So I guess as a heads up, if you've been wondering why these Evil Twin stuff went up, also the Evil Twins are part of the main set, so I don't think these are going to stay up in price too long. Like, it just doesn't make sense to have stuff in the main set, you know, staying on buyout status. And then we have Pantheism. I guess I can't be surprised about that. You do have future Monarch support out here on the horizon, and you know, anytime that people see Monarchs, they're going to be extremely happy, and they just want to see what they can do out here with this deck. And I agree with you. I'm not hating on that idea. You've got a lot of cool ideas behind Monarchs. It's free searchability, and also, like, since we just got the new Morganite stuff, a lot more people are more inclined to want to test out the Monarch stuff. So, you know, when Pantheism was a $5-6 card, most people were looking at this going, oh, you know, there's not really much of a point to pick these up. I mean, yeah, you're correct. I don't hate the idea of that, but, ah, man, too expensive just for a searcher. But, you know, this is the first time that Pantheism's had a reprint, so I can understand why people are, you know, wanting to pick these up and actually have them. So, good stuff to Konami, I guess. You did something right making that a thing. Necrovalley. I think a lot of people are genuinely shocked on how cheap Necrovalley was in the very early stages of this card being out in this set. Because that's been a lot of the comments I've read in our Discord server. It was just genuinely people are like, well, Necrovalley should have never been that cheap of a card, considering how strong of an anti-meta presence that the card has had, and considering the card's history on the game. I mean, I agree 100%. When you're dealing with a card that was, you know, what, a couple dollars, if that, and then you've been watching, you know, other high rarity versions, you know, the Alti was up, you know, you also have the very interesting take that, you know, we had, what was it, the Pharaoh's Rare as well for Necrovalley. You know, that's a rarity that you don't see Konami bringing back very often. So when Quarter Century was as cheap as it is, you know, it was a perfect opportunity to jump on them and have them. It doesn't matter if the card's good now. The card can come back and be good at another point. That's the thing I think people tend to also forget. All right, mask change. You all have know that hero support is literally on the horizon, right frickin' over there. Konami made the announcement on the OCG and told everybody, hey, you know, you guys are getting main deck masked hero support. So why was everybody shocked Pikachu faced out here going, I can't believe mask change? There's been a couple of hero buyouts, actually, that have been happening out here. But why are you all shocked the mask change went up in price? Like, this makes zero sense to me. Like, when Konami said new mass hero support, when you're influencing stuff out here, and you're actually getting the chance to see future stuff coming down here, I don't understand it, man. I really don't. I don't know why you should be either. So you've got a lot of people that believe in hero stuff right now. All right, this is very reflective on the recent trends in the market. That something like Mass Change is getting bought out. All right, lovely Labyrinth. Lab just literally topped a YCS. Coming on into new format, Lab looks like a very good candidate. And I once again, lovely Lab. Looking at the price, I think it was like a $17 card before its buyout. Now the buyouts put it, I think, at like 40 plus at this stage, which is nuts. I didn't initially think that I would see Lovely Labyrinth getting destroyed off the market, but I mean, okay, you're in a situation now, everybody, that you're getting the chance to watch this stuff propel up and go a little bit crazy. Also, it's Labyrinth. You guys got to respect the waifu tag. So the set did get an alt art, and then you put the regular art of the other version of the card in the set. And you expect people to not go crazy, get excited about this? Yeah? Hype? Yeah, that's how it works, everybody. You can thank your you can thank your success out of the YCS for changing this. Diabellstar alt art. Overall, I should mention on the alt arts that a lot of these are pretty populated. Diabellstar is the one that's finally starting to hit the lowest out here from what I'm seeing. Obviously, this is all just weekend one madness out here, but Diabellstar, I think, is the one that most people really were hoping for. Obviously, a lot of the cheaper alt arts are probably going to stay that way for a good couple of days. I would expect to see some other gas, but you've got White Forest out here that a lot of people are excited about. Like, genuinely, White Forest has some of the craziest hype right now, just kind of going on into the new format. So I'm going to give it up for the White Forest bros out here. You guys are really excited for this deck. There's nothing wrong with that. You're carrying the Diabellstar price up because of this. And it's no real shocking thing to see out here. There had to be one alt art, and I'm not surprised that it's Diabellstar. All right, Trap Dust Shoot. Edison, everybody. To the people that didn't want to spend the $700 on the Super Dust Shoot, it's the same thing happened with Caius. You know, high rarity Caius's Ultimate Rare shot up to a crazy number. And then you have the QCR Caius start to follow up in price. It's the exact same thing that was destined to happen with Trap Dust Shoot. And I really don't understand why people are shocked about this. Trap Dust Shoot was destined to go up through the roof literally the minute that we saw that this was coming out as a QCR. When you make staple older format cards, it's bound to go up. Everybody say it with me. Staple, go up. Oh my, who would have guessed? And literally, you just are going to be supporting Edison forever. So that's what's going to keep happening, everybody. I wonder where it stops, though, honestly. Royal Oppression. Okay. Royal Oppression. I saw Saturday night listings vanished except for a single $500 listing that stuck around on the market. We had some repopulation this morning actually coming through and not being too bad. I think the card settled back down to $45 a copy. I think we had like 8 listings of them. Once again, older format staple across multiple formats. And in some formats, it's a 3 of, man. That's something that you're going to have to think about out here when you're approaching Royal Oppression like as a card. Because that's a lot of equity to be dumping in. 120 for a place that's not the worst thing in the world, but we saw 2 of these coming a mile away. I don't know why people are surprised about that, but once again, say it with me, everybody. Older format staples. Wow. Petit Moth. Well, everybody can thank Ruxin for this one. I read that Ruxin was offering, what was it, $5? Don't quote me on this. I think it was offering some amount of money for every Petit Moth that he could come across. I think it was like $5 to $7, which was cool. But it's forced QCR Petit Moth to go up to an insane number out here on the secondary market because collectability is going to drive this sort of thing very, very hard. Especially when you have a collector wanting these. I think it's very welcome, and to the people that do want this. But it would be really funny if Konami did do some Petit Moth support in the future. But you know what? Who really knows? We will have to wait and see. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And, well, I hope that this was interesting to help you know what in the world's been going on for the last 48 hours with Stampede. Because I AFK'd Saturday super hard. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright?
Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.